You're probably wondering how I got here.
What is...
You see, that's why. Well, you see, we live in this crazy world called online Pokemon competition. I don't know, man. You're the one who tried to ask
What was that?
I don't know. Help.
What?
I don't know what type of intros. I was like, you know, like the ones from like fucking like Nest Classified or whatever. It's like, oh, you're probably wondering how I got here, and then like it's like a bit from like the middle of the episode. I don't know.
That was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
What? Stop.
I think this intro is too long.
No, it's time. We're at WPF DDiv Power Rankings. Now you know why we're doing it. I did bad, and he got fired from Gen 6.
Yeah, we're doing the W... This is an unusable intro. I'm gonna debate cutting this.
This is a very good intro.
I'm gonna debate cutting this. Anyway, we're doing the WPF D-Division Power Rankings for Season 7. My name is Keith. I am one of the D-Division moderators, along with Jesse. And with
504.
me, Jesse 504. I don't know what happened to the other 503 Jessies, but, you know. And
I killed them.
with me, as always, with his terrible intros, is Electric. Say hello.
You asked me to do an intro, and I had no preparation. I was out of nowhere. How could you do this to me?
I gave you like 10 seconds. Yeah, so this is the power rankings, for those who don't know, but you probably all know. We're just ranking the teams based on how much we like the draft, and we are ignoring player skill, you know, all of that good stuff. Just,
yeah.
This is what we think of your drafts.
It's generally a good idea to do in DDiv.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, let's start off with number 18.
Yep.
The Chicago Flash Fire with the coach Ravens.
So
Ravens...
you see the problem here is that Ravens drafted like 5 Pokemon and 3 of them were bad. Oh.
I mean, I like Mega Scizor and Lando T as a combination. That's pretty cool.
Man, imagine how good that would be if their like water resists weren't Starmie and Decidueye.
Sylveon's a cool cleric Pokemon. That's pretty neat. You know, there are some Pokemon here that like to be wished up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, Scizor has a reliable recovery, so like.
Well, it's.
Infernape has reliable recovery, and Starmie has reliable recovery, and Decidueye has reliable recovery, and Miltank has reliable recovery, and Dracovish just like doesn't die anyway until it does, and it's like, I don't know.
Dracovish doesn't die until it does. But speaking of Dracovish, here's the thing. It's great. The only thing you've got to threaten bulky waters is Decidueye, which, you know, isn't the greatest. And also, there's the only speed control for this is paralysis from, like, Starmie and Miltank clicking Thunder Wave. But that's all. There's no webs.
A Body Slam from Sylveon, which is Pixelate boosted.
Is there a Tailwind Pokemon here?
Decidueye.
Okay, yeah. It's very rough. And they don't have anything that beats the water absorbers besides Decidueye, really. And I guess, like... Yeah, and I guess, like, Starmie clicking, you know, Thunderbolt, whatever. That's a bit of an issue. There's a few Pokemon with momentum here. They don't. They have Sylveon.
Water Absorb Dracovish or something, or Heal Bell Sylveon. Or just keep switching Starmie into moves and hoping that Starmie doesn't take too much damage from it.
Well, as you said, it's got recovery. But, yeah. Not a fan of this team, really. I don't think either of us are. I really like the top 2 ones because, you know, Lando T can basically come every week. Mega Scizor's stupid. It is stupid.
I feel like they sort of just, like, lost the plot. I feel like, so Mega Scizor, Landorus T, Sylveon, and Infernape, like, to some extent, Starmie as well, are, like, super, like, solid offensive, like, very high momentum-based sort of Pokemon. And then which I guess to some extent makes sense to support Dracovish, except that there's no speed control, which is the main thing Dracovish needs, as well as like an electric type would help. And then it's like Miltank, which is just like kind of like passive and kind of will kill off a lot of momentum when you need to go there and like most likely set up rocks.
Yeah. I think this team is very salvageable. This team's very salvageable.
I feel like this team is entirely reliant, matchup reliant.
Well, right now, yes, but I think just a few simple changes, and it's actually pretty easy to make a lot better.
Use a free agent transaction to turn Dracovish into 3 Pokemon.
Whoa, okay. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the Chicago Flash Fire? And Ravens?
I think that Ravens is one of the better coaches in the league, so he could probably do fine anyway.
Yeah, Ravens is cool, decent coach, and X-Mod, I think he's a speed tour guy these days.
Mostly, yeah.
He's a veteran of WPF.
That's
pretty
right.
Cool.
That's right. He's too fast.
Yeah, he didn't drop Blacephalon this season though, and that's very good.
Is it?
Yeah. Anyway, number 17. We have another form of mod in Kaiwai. Is that how you say the name?
It's like Scotch sort of thing, right? So it's like hi-fi, like Fitware in New Zealand.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
That's how I always read it.
Well, that's with his team, the Las Vegas Latias.
Laddies.
Laddies.
Both of them.
Oh, well. I'm terrible, I'm sorry.
You are.
So this team...
You hate both of the laddies so much.
Yeah, this team... I think...
So this team... you guys at home, you can pause here and spot which Pokemon here is the fastest Pokemon on this team. Alright, that's been enough time for you to pause and decide. Yeah, that's right. It's Gardevoir and Shaman.
Yeah, that's pretty slow.
And then it's Ice Core and Arcanine.
They've got webs to sort of fix that, I guess. But...
They have one Scarfer. It's Rotom. So
Skuntank can be Scarf, I guess. It's not great.
Yeah, it's like even slower. Like...
Is Skuntank slower than Rotom Frost?
Yes, it's base 84 and Rotom's base 86.
Oh, there you go.
No, it's 84, yeah.
Like, I guess you can, in theory, run a Scarf Special Shaman.
You can, but it's just not very effective.
But it's also your fastest Pokemon anyway.
What's a Scarf Special Shaman? Is doing 60% to Darmanitan with Earth Power or something? It's like, I don't know.
I don't think it'll be that bad.
Darmanitan's a major problem because obviously Arcanine and Toxapex, but just base 95 Mons, base 100 Scarfers.
Yeah, look, I think it's a good it's okay, so there are good things about this team. I think I like Gardevoir to support the Gliscor a lot as just a, really strong wall breaker. And I think I actually like the pairing of Gliscor and Blissey a fair amount, because Blissey can just switch in on a lot of special moves, like a lot of Ice Beams, a lot of Surfs, that would otherwise threaten the Gliscor, and Gliscor itself is Gliscor is just a very dumb Pokemon to have to deal with. But yeah, it's got no speed, and it's using webs as a way to sort of fix that, but I don't think that's consistent.
It's got Rapid Spin and Hitmontop, which is okay to support webs.
Yeah.
But the only Pokemon that's really like a webs abuser, quote unquote, is Mega Gardevoir. Or maybe, I guess Rotom could be, but I don't know. This team lacks obvious win conditions, and it seems very weak to being revenged by opposing teams.
Yeah, it's incredibly bulky. It's very bulky.
It just feels like unless Toxapex is running Haze in a game, it's probably going to get Dragon Danced or Quiver Danced on and swept.
Yeah.
Just because it lacks great facilities to revenge things, because its priority is Extreme Speed from Arcanine. That's okay, but it's not Stab. And Fake Out Hitmontop with Sucker Punch.
It's got Technician. It's got Technician for Fake.
Which is the Fake Out, but it's also still non-stab. Well, Mark Punch, I guess, is stab booster.
And I think it might have Mark Punch.
It's just not. It just lacks great options for revenging, and it lacks amazing wall breakers. It's got Gardevoir, which is a very good one, and then 110 attack Arcanine, 70 attack Araquanid. Yeah, it's got Water Bubble, but
yeah,
it's just no Darmanitan, right?
It's sad, but yeah, it's definitely not an unwinnably bad team. I don't think any of them really are. Anything else you want to say about number 17, the Las Vegas Laddies? There is no A in the title.
I just realized that you wrote on your thing Las Vegas Gladiators. Oh, like I only just noticed that immediately. Yeah. No, nothing particular. I mean, guys are probably gonna do okay, but I don't know. I thought he had a pretty mid-season last season.
I believe. I don't quite remember how he did last season. So.
Well, good luck to him.
Yeah. No. Good, cool guy. I think he'll do well.
Something for a fast Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay, number 16. The Rockham Sockham Rotoms, and that's a powerful logo. Rockham Sockham Rotoms, with Swaggery. I forgot to write his name down. I am the worst.
You are in fact the worst.
But it's on the draft thing next to it, so oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has a Shifu, Caesar, Spectre, yeah, boy, Deoxys Defense, Altaria, but it's Molt, so it's Moltaria, Serena, Manaphy, Zygarde, 10%, or also known as Zydodge, Turtonator, and and Thunderous's Fursona.
So, quick question: why are you listing everyone's Pokemon? We didn't do it for the other people.
Because I forgot.
Okay. Anyway, because I thought you were making a point with Urshifu. So let me just say, this has got some.
Urshifu is the most broken Pokemon in the draft league.
Stop. Okay, so there's some good wall breakers here. Urshifu, whilst it's not the most broken Pokemon in draft league, it's a decent wall breaker. There's a fair bit of momentum.
No, you're right. It's an almost as good as Cure and Black. You're right. I'm sorry.
Stop. There's, Spectria hasn't been used. I don't know how good it is. It seems to struggle to break especially defensive normals. But then you've got dark types, but you do have a Urshifu for that, so that's a sort of nice combo. There's a fair bit of momentum here. But the issues though, there's some bad. Momentum? There's a few momentum.
The only hazard setter is Deoxys Defense, and Deoxys Defense is also just bad.
It's not great.
As someone with experience using Deoxys Defense, if one of their Pokemon has Taunt and is over the base speed of like 80, Deoxys is doing nothing that game.
Yeah.
Maybe getting to Rocky Helmet chip on something.
Yeah, and I think hazards, they're really important for what this team wants to do, I feel. So...
It's so heavily momentum based, and not having a good way to abuse that momentum outside of getting in really a Urshifu is a bizarre decision to me. I personally don't necessarily rate Urshifu or Spectria particularly high, so I would say the main offensive thing. Oh yeah, the other problem is that it doesn't really make sense to have a Mega Altaria, which is so good at abusing hazards, and then have one hazard setter, which is also like a suicide sort of hazard setter. I don't know.
It does also have. It has some weaknesses to certain types, but it's more of an offensive team, so that's not as important really. But yeah, I just don't like the fact that the hazards are limited to Deoxys defense. So it has to come every game. And does Deoxys get teleport?
Yeah, it does. But that's by the time you have Stealth Rock, Spikes, and Teleported, you've got one move, and that's not Recover.
Yeah.
Or it is. So then you're dropping one of the hazards, and you don't have another Stealth Rock or a Spike to support that. So you have Recover. Or you don't have Recover. And you've only got one attack. Which is probably Knockoff. Which is, Knockoff is good, but then, they have a Mega Pokemon. I don't do anything this game.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's cool. Swaggery himself is new to the main season, main WPF season, so welcome to it.
He was in the off season for Ubers, I believe.
Yeah, how did he do in the Ubers? You were paying attention to
no comment.
Okay.
He is indeed div.
Yeah, who cares?
We had several S-div coaches in there. He struggled playing against a lot of very high competitive players, but he still had a couple of good wins.
Okay, I think.
And a good job.
Okay. So we'll see how he can do with this team. I am looking forward to seeing how Spectria does in the draft format, because I haven't seen it, so maybe we are clients are putting it at 14.
I don't like it.
Number 15.
So, it's your crispy McRib, one of my favorite. So way back in the good old days, I spent I want to say half an hour campaigning to get him into DDiv. When he first got in, that was hype.
Well,
he did okay. He's pretty cool.
Well, he was in CDiv last season, but he's back in DDiv, and he has drafted a interesting team.
So, he and another coach drafted each other's first 2 picks.
Or something like that. It's confusing.
The other coach did not have an early pick, and he had an early pick, so he wound up getting Core round 1, and the other dude got Mew round 1. So now we have this. Now he has Corv.
I mean, Corv's cool. Corv's cool. It's just
he has a really good defensive profile.
Yeah.
As long as you just ignore the fact that there are 3 psychic types. He's a really good offensive profile on the physical side with Pokemon like Mega Beedrill and Kelder, and Mamoswine, as well as a Sword Stance Celebi or Bulk Up Corviknight. Can be very, very strong. And Type Null to some extent.
Yeah, the Sword Stance set.
Typhlosion, which is very limiting. And Moltres and Type Null are the main and can kill the Dark type moves. I just the checks to things.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, the speed tiers are a bit of an issue too, because you got Mega Beedrill, and then you've got Typhlosion.
Typhlosion and Celebi at 100, yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
a bit of an issue.
To attempt to help him make transactions which help fix the speed tiers. And he fixed the gap. Originally he had a gap from it was Celebi down to Mamoswine, and they plugged out with Moltres, which is solid, but didn't take the advice for plugging the higher end speed tier, and also made the flying matchup worse by dropping an electric type instead of dropping one of the 17 psychic types.
I will say, this is DDiv. Gothitelle can cheese some wins, even if you're not hype on it. I'm not, if you're not hype on it in this team, and I agree, it doesn't seem like it does anything at first, but Gothitelle is just going to be very annoying for people to prep against, and will probably just get a win somehow, because that's what it does. It just it'll come in on something and then do something obnoxious.
Corviknight, Beedrill, Lantern can function as acceptable pivots into Gothitelle.
Yeah. Speed.
Slowbro, Celebi, Type Null, less so, because knockoff. But there are some okay pivots into Gothitelle.
Yeah.
So Gothitelle will probably be able to do things.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's it's an interesting team, but unfortunately I don't think it can go that high, and I'm less high on it than you, even Electric. I don't like this much at all. But
I think it's okay. I think Moltres Galar is a very underrated Pokemon. I was surprised when it was only 8 points.
Well, I know it's 10 in SPT or something, so
yeah,
whatever that means.
It was maybe underpriced when I saw it in SPT, and then I saw it in WPF. Yeah. I think that there are some very good checks to key types on this comp. But
yeah,
I think that there are some issues.
Okay. Now we've got number 14. I am so bad with these names. The Murder Queen Maginas?
Yeah. So Gina, it's Ben. They have no other name. They're Ben.
Nice Ice Ninja Alpha.
This is Ben, the Divine Battle League commissioner. He's been. I don't know where he's been, but he's been plenty of places. Where he's not been is to the Stealth Rock shop, or Spike shop, or Toxic Spike shop, because it's got webs with no spinner.
Yeah,
and
no rocks or no hazards besides webs is
amazing
an
speed
issue.
Tiers. Solid defensive and offensive profiles. If you ignore the fact that most of their defensive core is weak to fire. And
but wait, you say it's amazing speed tiers, but there's no speed below
amazing
Zygarde.
High-end speed tiers. There's nothing that's slower than Zygarde outside of running speed on forges, which is not incredibly consistent. But on the upper end, 95 plus, but layers.
Yeah. Well, I think Taunt T is, in my opinion, with Legal Dragapult, the second best Pokemon in the format, because I suck at Mew. So that's something.
It's definitely top 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
is it top 3? Yeah, it's probably still top 3 with Legal Dragapult.
Yeah, you said this was actually a very good Zoroark team when we were discussing
Yes.
this.
I think there are a lot of Pokemon here that Zoroark can effectively disguise itself as and claim KOs, because Zoroark has radically different checks. So it's about Melmetal and Zygarde mostly. Zygarde and Melmetal tend to have very specific checks on opposing teams, which they will let go to, and Zoroark faking them out and being able to force in those, especially in somewhere like EDIV. And Ben is a pretty solid pilot with teams, so I think he will be able to position that well. Zoroark can definitely put in work. As well as I also think it's solid with Mega Slowbro to some extent, Cinderace to some extent, and Amogus and Vikavolt definitely as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. But on the negative side, this has got some sort of suspicious and bad matchups. The Ghost matchups, kind of pretty bad. The Resistance Zoroark. Yeah. And the Flying matchup's kind of iffy, and the Fire matchup is similarly iffy. So
Fire matchup is looks okay on paper until you realize that the Fire resist is Cinderace.
And Mega Slowbro, I guess.
And Zygarde is okay, but none of these Pokemon want to be taking damage, especially because it's the Mega Slowbro, so it's going to be taking rocks every time it comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why Ben's team is here. So 14, it's solid, but there's literally no Pokemon with any hazard besides sticking work. So.
Yeah. Well, as I said, the plan is actually because they have Court Change of Cinderace, and I think the current plan is Vikavolt clicks Webs, Cinderace clicks Court Change, and now you have the slowest Pokemon in Trick Room.
Yes.
Except
the Trick Room abuser is
Melmetal.
Moongus. Oh yeah, Melmetal, right.
There is a picture of it on the slide, sir.
There are 2 pictures of it on the slide.
Yeah, but it's got its
own.
own.
Machina's a good Trick Room abuser. Actually, I remember when Ben made this. It was quite recent. It's quite good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Anyway, let's go into number 13.
Yeah, the second Las Vegas team under Lord Vegas. That is C-Div last season, playoffs maker. Hell yeah, playoff contender. Solid coach. He won every single game he played on season. That's right, all one of them, and he made playoffs. And this is his team.
Let's talk about.
He gets a Registeel.
More importantly, he's got a Donovan.
He does have Donovan. It is important to understand that he does, in fact, have a Donovan, and every single coach who plays against him will make sure that they are not Donovan by Donovan, because Donovan is I don't know. What do you think the D stands for? Right? That's right. It's WPF Donovision. No, not the first D. The first D doesn't stand for anything. No, the D in division stands for Donovan.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That's right. WPF Donovision.
So, this team, outside of Donovan, has some decent Pokemon.
Clefable's quite good. Galliard is quite good. Rillaboom is.
I'm such a big fan of Rillaboom.
I think it's a lot more comp reliant than I used to think that it was.
I can see that.
But it's still good.
Yeah.
Its team's ground matchup really needs Rillaboom, and would appreciate if the Stomping Tantrum and High Horsepower didn't exist.
Yeah, it's mostly High Horsepower, but, for Stomping Tantrum, they are using a much weaker ground move. But it still helps. There's still just some Pokemon that are gonna cry.
What do you mean? Stomping Tantrum is 150 base power.
Stop your lies. You're
lying. I'm not.
It's
not a lie. What?
It's a lie.
Stomping Tantrum is a 150 base power move.
It's 75 unless you whiffed the move previously, and then it's 150. Stop your lies.
Consistently 150 base power move because I miss every other attack.
So this has, I think, some interesting things with. It's got a surprise, not a lot, but a surprising amount of priority, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. It's got stream speed from Regieleki, exactly what you need, and from Suicune.
Well, okay, Regieleki essentially has priority. Let's be real. Rillaboom.
It does also have priority, like.
Yeah.
It's like it is extreme speed for some reason.
Yeah,
Registeel with body press is okay. The rockers on this comp are like pretty solid between like Clef, Reggie, and Donovan. The removal is, I don't know, it's kind of like
it's Regieleki and Donovan.
It's rapid spin and it's default Volipede. So that's like
Reboot doesn't get court change, I don't believe.
No, Reboot does not get court change.
But he's not exactly weak against weak to rocks.
Galliard can sweep in a lot of comps, in a lot of games. I think Clefwall gets tricks, so they can trick ring targets into ground types.
And that's pretty cool.
And Gengar also gets tricks, so they can trick ring targets into ground types. And then Regieleki could be a win condition. I think Glaceon might also get trick.
Regieleki is another Pokemon I'm looking forward to seeing how it does, because like it's very one-dimensional, but like it's fast, and that's pretty cool. And
it is fast.
It's got trapping moves, which is pretty cool, and it's like
it's probably the best Scarfer in the format.
It's like it doesn't have bulky stats, but you can afford to invest a lot of bulk into it because
and
you literally don't need to invest any speed into any stat like at all ever.
You can invest Outrun Scarfers up to base 117 speed.
Oh well, there you go.
That's right. That's even higher than Deoxys speed can outrun because it's faster.
Yeah.
My man's Deoxys.
No. Yeah, but this is a interesting team. It again has Donovan. It's very strong.
It's still very weak to ground.
Yeah, very weak to ground. High horsepower being given out to all sorts of horses like Conkeldurr didn't help it. My favorite horse, Conkeldurr. But
my favorite horse Pokemon is Conkeldurr.
Yeah.
What is your favorite horse Pokemon? Is it Snorlax?
Yes, it's Hippowdon. Hippowdon's kind of a horse, if you count hippos as a horse. Anyway.
I mean, my favorite horse personally is actually Calyrex Ice, but not Calyrex Ghost. Oh, sorry, Calyrex Shadow. Well, I'm pretty sure only the Ice one gets it, even though the other one is also a horse.
Well, then the other one's not a horse. No, because the other one's a ghost shaped like a horse.
Spectrier is not a horse. I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but Melmetal is a horse and Spectrier isn't.
Yep. Okay, number 12 then. Unless, do you have anything else you want to say about Lord Buckethead's team?
No, but Lord Buckethead's a cool guy.
Yeah, great person.
Second Las Vegas team.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him in the main season.
Makes free logos, which is cool.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good too.
Number 12, the Miami Moltres with Bold Knock. So this is a team.
Round one Megalopi.
Yeah, so
So just let you know, Dragapult is still free.
Yeah, dude, who cares? So it's pretty good hazard support, it's got some okay pivoting. Has a Trick Room option, I'd say.
I feel like it would have been better if they had an electric which was immune to electric or some such. Because with a Skarmory Empoleon and Tentacruel, you would really appreciate having 2 Volt immunities, so you'd have the option. Yeah. But instead, the other electric resists are Hydreigon and Virizion. Both which are okay.
Virizion has a lot of special defense, so that's nice.
It does. It does. However, consider Electivire.
I've stopped considering.
That's really sad. There's a Magmortar on this team.
Magmortar's cool though.
Tentacruel is good spin support for the comp. Hatterene Bounce is pretty interesting as well. Hatterene's also, I think, a good abuser of good hazard support, and they have a really good between Empoleon and Hydreigon, got really good switch-ins to Hatterene's weaknesses, which is solid.
Yeah. The issues come at the fact that, so this is a slow team that's going to rely on hazards a lot to chip people down. But the problem is... If I'm remembering correctly, it goes Lopunny, Virizion, Tentacruel.
than like Hydreigon and shit.
Yeah, for speeds. Right? Yeah, but I'm more focused about the knockoff. Who gets knockoff on this team?
Apollyon.
Yeah,
I believe I mentioned
Tentacruel.
Right? Tentacruel, yeah.
And maybe does Virizion get it?
Virizion does not get knockoff.
Okay.
None of them.
Yeah, that's not that much, really. That's kind of... Because, like, you really want to get rid of those boots, and Tentacruel is also going to...
get access to corrosive gas, which is, like, knockoff, but a status move, so it doesn't do damage.
That's interesting. You should check
Slowbro Galar cheeks, by the way.
Yeah, and the problem with running knockoff on Tentacruel is that it wants to run a lot of moves in this on this team, because it wants spin, it wants toxic spikes, it wants, you know, moves to hit things, it might want haze. Like, there's a lot of... I don't know if it can actually fit knockoff on it a lot without compromising itself a fair amount.
Yeah.
So...
And you also Scarf Virizion against any Pokemon with like if you play like Zardex or something, then you have to like kick KO, revenge it with like Scarf Virizion.
Yeah.
Which is not great.
Or like pray to God that Slowbro Galar's quick draw fires off.
Yeah. It's just Slowbro Galar quick draw memes, man. Chansey's interesting, but like this team doesn't like switching into knockoff from Pokemon which can hit Lopunny with neutral stat very much.
Yeah, it's got Virizion to get an attack boost from that, but besides that, it's not even that great.
Virizion. It might even have like a normal Pokemon's attack stat after that.
It's got 90 attack stat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not...
Or 89, one of the two.
Yeah, but also the fighting Grand matchup isn't the greatest, but it's fine.
They have some very good checks. But like, when I say that, I mean Hatterene, Slowbro Galar, and Tentacruel.
Yeah.
So maybe not really.
Yeah, but it definitely, you know, has its positives. Again, Lopunny, like, is pretty strong. Hydreigon is pretty cool. Like the
Rapier is very good. One thing I previously mentioned was that the Trick Room core is quite strong.
Yes.
They've got a few setters, and Hatterene is a very good Trick Room setter, and Rapier is a good abuser, and Hatterene can also be a good abuser. And if Slowbro is good at anything, it's probably in Trick Room.
Yeah. Because even if something underspeeds it, it can get the quick draw activation.
Yeah.
I'll stop with the quick draw.
Lopunny Fake Out can help like stall out your own TL turns.
Yeah.
In the case.
Also, so as for Boldnock himself though, yeah, I think he only just missed the playoffs last season, if I remember correctly. Or
yeah, that sounds
yeah, he's
it was solid.
Yeah, he's back in native. I think he'll have a decent season if he can use this team effectively. Okay.
If he hits his mega kicks, he might make playoffs this season.
Okay. Anything else to say about the Miami Moltres?
I do not have anything else to say about this.
Okay. Number 11 is Singapore Sligoos with Nim. Nim, the greatest player of all time. We are sorry to all the other coaches for putting him...
The asterisk. Sorry, there's an important asterisk. If the greatest player of all time, assuming that it's in a team draft and that Hacker Killer is also on your team in that team draft, but then Nim is guaranteed to go.
Well, it's like Exodia. It's like Exodia, you know. He's just the head of Exodia, the left arm of Exodia, useless. Put them all together. Put all the pieces together, and then
obliterate.
Yeah. As for this team, it's offensively pretty strong. It's got some good speeds to it.
Originally, this comp Nim wanted the comp to be Dragonite Rain with Coco, but then Coco went because Nim had like a pick in the back of the draft.
Yeah.
And then
I'll say round 3 Mega Dialysy is criminal.
I know that criminal. It's pretty good.
It's
getting stuck to Rillaboom was unfortunate because it was actually only a few picks before Bulu.
Yeah, Bulu was like without Oh man, without Grassy Glide or player,
okay.
It doesn't have player off.
Bulu is quite good in terms of being grassy terrain support. He doesn't really need player off because you have Mega Deontay for that.
Yeah, well, okay, not specifically in this team, but you are right.
Yeah, it's definitely down to like the specific comp.
This is like it's a team that sort of I think functions with itself pretty well. It's got decent variety here. It's got
a lot of spin.
Yeah, a lot of spin.
It's only got 2 lockers though.
What's the sec? Oh yeah, Mega Deontay. Yeah. So it's got Mega Deontay and Fortress as the 2 hazard Pokemon, which is not the best for a team with 3 rapid spinners. Like I get it, Blastoise is more than just a rapid spinner, but
Hitmonchan is also more than just rapid spin.
I guess
they spin that more. Fortress is bad though without rapid spin. It's a hazard setter on this team, right?
Yeah.
You run like spikes, toxic spikes, Volt Switch.
Like I don't hate Fortress, but having to bring in every game is a bit of an issue.
Well, you don't have to. You just have to bring it or run rocks on Mega Deontay, or just not bring rocks.
Yeah.
On the plus side, very few Pokemon on this team need to run boots because every single Pokemon has spin.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even possible to build a comp with this team without a spinner.
So.
Weevil's also a really good late round pick. I was talking to him about options and we're like talking about like fast dark type, and I do think that it was very expensive for the points that Nim had left, and Nim probably could have done with like another fast Pokemon as well. But even with that, then Weavile is a very good pick.
Rounds out his speeds a lot.
To take on a lot of the main checks to Nim's other mons.
Yeah, it's quite solid. Also, a big issue though is that while it's not weak to ground to electric at all, it's got no electric immunity, so Volt switches are coming.
Yeah, cannot stop Volt switch.
Yeah, so you're gonna be.
If this team had like a decent ground type, then I think it would be much higher up in the rankings. But not having a Volt switch stopper and having Mucky's or Toxic Spike as over are both not amazing.
Yeah. Not the best. But I think this is a pretty good team, just it has some issues. Profile. Oh yeah, definitely. And it's got some flexibility too, I think. So I can honestly see it being a little higher than it is, to be honest. I've taken a second look at it.
No, we were saying this. It would be higher than it was if it had a ground type.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, it is the only comp that does not have a single Volt Switch immunity, and almost every single other draft has a Volt Switcher. So that's going to be something that they're on the back foot for in every single game.
Yeah, it makes you very weak to just Volt turn.
It makes your prep very compromised.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, or should we move on?
No, we have the very epic meme.
Yeah, man, I have not seen that picture. I have not seen that picture for so long. It took me back. I feel like such a boomer. Yeah, we've got Team Daniel with the coach Daniel.
Trolls.
Damn, Daniel. He's back.
Damn. No, it's just Daniel.
Damn, Daniel is back.
Back at it again. So this is the Mew and Volcanion that he drafted the other dude, Corv and Slowbro.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Defensively, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's an interesting defensive profile.
Yeah.
Though it doesn't have necessarily the only Pokemon here that's really offensive is Terrakion, and Volcanion can be offensive, but it is also like a pretty important part of this team's defensive profile.
There are some Pokemon that can be, like Rockham can also be offensive.
Yeah, with like 115 attack, but
Yeah, like Noivern can be as well, I guess, with it just because it spams high power moves. But I think Venusaur, Mew, and Licky we were talking about this, are probably coming to every game, and that's not necessarily a negative because those are some pretty good Pokemon, but that's just a fact.
Yeah, it's top heavy for sure.
Yeah,
it has There's Grimmsnarl as its main check to a lot. What was it? It's only Dark Resist? Yeah.
Yeah, and look, I'm not a big. Oh no, it's got Terrakion to resist Dark.
Oh no, that's right. Sorry, it's got Terrakion and Licky to support Grimmsnarl and resisting Ghost and Dark.
Yeah. I'm not a big Grimmsnarl fan personally, but some people are.
I know there's some type that Grimmsnarl was defensive. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not massive on Grimmsnarl.
Well, I think there is no Earthquake resist and only one immunity, and that's Noivern.
Oh, yeah.
And that's an issue.
So yeah, Edgequake can roll through this team. Very reliant on Regis like Fire, Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, like it's Regis and it's Mega Venusaur just being kind of fat and
you're being kind of fat to some extent. Grimmsnarl screens.
Yeah, but it's still
Magnet Rise rank out.
Does it get Magnet Rise?
I believe so.
That's we don't want to be liars. Double check that. But that's pretty cool.
Also, Kling is the steal. That was the problem. The Dragon switch-ins. There's no real Dragon switch-in because the switch-ins are Grimmsnarl and Kling.
Kling is an interesting choice for a steal.
Kling is not a Pokemon. Having to bring Kling to a comp is not a good thing. Or was it Poison was a problem? Because the Poison resist is Runa Regis and Kling. Yeah, that's it. No, Terrakion also resists Poison.
Yeah.
But like, this team doesn't necessarily love switching into Poison types. Outside of like again switching in Mew and Venusaur into basically everything.
Yeah, but Venusaur's switching into a lot of things. It only has 8 synthesis PP and only so much each seed.
And the blockers are Mew, Terrakion, Runa Regis, which means either you're bringing Runa Regis with rocks a lot, or either Mew or Terrakion is running rocks, which both of them can run rocks, but feeling like forced to either bring Runa Regis consistently or run it on one of them can be kind of lame.
Yeah.
Because like this team's defensive profile is really reliant on how many team slots it can fit, and Runa Regis honestly does not lend a particularly unique aspect to their defensive core. Outside of being like a full switch immunity, obviously.
Yeah, and like immune to fighting, I guess. And
yeah, but Mew and Venusaur are really amazing fighting resists.
Yeah, Will-O-Wisps.
Volcanion doesn't care about U-turn, Terrakion doesn't care about U-turn, Terrakion doesn't care about like rock moves that much. Mew gets Will-O-Wisp, Volcanion gets Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, so that was generally the concern that I had about this comp.
Yeah. But
it's a functional comp.
Yeah.
Speed tiers were okay as well, which is
it's sort of thing.
Pretty sure it's like Pokemon Space 100 in Mew, and then it has something at base 90. I think it's Kling, and then at base 80 it has I try to remember. I remember this team has Venusaur at base 80, and then Volcanion at base 70, and then Grimmsnarl at base 60, and then Licky at like base 60 as well or something. And then like base 50 Regis, base 30 Regis. But like that realistically means that there's a speed gap between Mew and Volcanion because Venusaur hates running speed EVs, or at least a lot of them, and Kling is no real Pokemon.
Yeah.
But on paper, the speed tiers were okay.
Yeah.
Noivern is a good fastest Pokemon.
Also, like, the thing with Mew is that there's a set that just always is just gonna turn a game on its head, so it's all about farming that set. And if you can do that, that's terrifying. Because that's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
That's just how it be.
Well, yeah, I think that probably sums up Team Daniel.
That's just how it be, man.
That is in fact how it be.
Can we stop looking at this troll face? Genuinely making me feel ill.
Okay.
Do we have anything else to say?
I've been trying to move on to the next one,
okay.
So that I have to solve it.
Okay, we're at number 9. Blazing Ponytas with Joltevel.
Now we've started looking at the good teams.
Yeah, Joltevel is a veteran WPF. He's been here for a while. I think he was on my team. Well, not my team, was Endless's team with me. What was it called? Team Fruit Salad in the first team tour for WPF. That was pretty cool. And he's a pretty good battler. He has had some very unfortunate brushes with like hacks in the past. So he's down here, and I think he's going to do well with this team, which is interesting. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot.
This team is a really weird offensive-defensive combination.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Ditto is speed dude.
Yeah, so like there's some negative so I think there's a decent bulky sort of core here, very good wish support for Mega Aggron, and there's 2 very good rockers. So that's really good.
Yeah. It's just the Olomomola to some extent fell behind other waters because it's not released, so we don't know whether it has flip turn or not. It's like half the mons are said to have flip turn, why not getting it?
Yeah, like Swampert.
So it possibly could, but yeah, Olomomola does not have access to flip turn, which sucks.
It is a shame.
This team has really good knockoff users. Olomomola, Tangrowth, Gligar, Goder are all quite good.
Cofagrigus, I think, gets it, so it can use it in a pinch too.
Yeah, so knockoff, and Thundurus, of course.
Yeah.
So very good knockoff. Ditto is very good as well. Victini is blisteringly strong.
Yeah.
Very good special attacker. Haxorus is... I feel like the defensive core is good enough to be able to wear stuff down in range of Haxorus.
I think Haxorus is good.
And it's also possible for this team to use like a Trick Room thing with offensive Aggron or Gerda, which is solid.
Yeah.
Because the Victini, Gardevoir, and Cofagrigus all sub Trick Room. Shadow Ball switch in is Ditto. That is
so
Limbo.
Yeah, you Limber Ditto. So here's what you do: you have Scarf Limber
We've
Ditto.
already gone up. So what? Yeah, you just do like the OU set where it's your min possible speed.
Yeah, but you Scarf, but you don't have Imposter. You have Limber. So you come in on the Shadow Ball, and then you know because they're choice locked. So then they have to click Shadow Ball again, and you're slower because Ditto has no speed. And then you click Transform.
That they delve into, or you turn to their Ghost type faster than their Ghost type, and you click the Ghost move.
Yes, it's a brilliant plan. Yeah.
Shadow Ball resists with having multiple Shadow Ball weaknesses is not great.
That's a bit of an issue. Also, this is a very physically defensive-based team, and that's a bigger issue.
I agree. It's based.
Yeah, like Mega Aggron, Tangrowth,
Yeah.
Gligar, Gerda, I think Cofagrigus too. These are all
Cofagrigus is a very bad Fizz Def, yeah.
with much stronger
So
Fizz
Fizz
Def
Def
than
like
Spinef.
Gardevoir,
Yeah.
and like Victini's got neutral.
Yeah, I think
Haxorus actually is higher Spinef Def than Fizz Def, but it's not like a particularly amazing defensive poke.
No, it's on this team to break things.
I mean, he can use its defensive profile with this team to some extent, because like the electric resist is nice if you don't want to risk switching Tangrowth or Gligar into like certain like attackers, but outside that, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
All of the electrical resists are weak to water as well. To ice is what I meant to say. All of the electric resists are weak to ice. So like Bolt Beam, very good in that system.
Yep. But
when that happens, Bolt Beam is good for a reason.
Yeah, Bolt Beam is very good for a reason. So yeah. I don't know. I like this team. Yeah, I like this team.
I would say that this is the where we start going into good teams. Yeah, we didn't talk about hazards.
I did. I said two good rockers. That's it.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
That's all it really needs, and some decent removal. It's fine.
Pivots as well.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of momentum stands. Yeah.
Number 8.
All right. The Joto Journeys by Dragons of Smitay, or Cinnabar Cynicals, which his nickname has been in like 3 servers for like forever, and I don't know why, because he doesn't even use the team name anymore.
Yeah. So he's a bit of a veteran coach in the WPF by now. He recently made playoffs in the Tier 5 side division we did. That's pretty cool. I think he actually made it to semis. And that's neat. And this team, I think he can replicate it because this is a pretty good offensive team. Offensive rain team.
It's a rain team.
Yeah.
It's got something which I view is very important on rain teams. That is to say, 2 electric immunities between obviously the Mega Swampert, but also Lightning Rod and Marowak is very good. Guju is another very good defensive Pokemon on rain. You can use its very, very strong special defensive capacities, combined with like a rest hydration, or even not just rest hydration, just like a assault vest sets very effectively in the rain. Resilient is solid. I would say the main flaw that stood out to me is speed tiers are a bit wonky, and Durant sucks in rain.
Well, like it's not that Durant's not improved by rain is the distinction, I feel, because Durant does what it does, but like its SPDF is so bad that it's not like Scissor where in the rain it's fine. If it gets hit by a fire move, it's still going down.
I think we count this with like a Mega Gyarados flamethrower, still 2 KOs in the rain with no boost.
Yeah, no investment.
With no investment. Which is like, I don't know. It's just Escavalier and Sizzle both have a much more special defense, which enables them to be good in rain. And Durant just doesn't really do that as much. So it would be better if there was a different steel that didn't give them like a bunch of neutral matchups. My opinion.
Yeah.
Flying is pretty spooky against this team. It's the only resist is Coco.
Yeah. Rock is also a major weakness.
Yes, and Durant also doesn't resist that.
Yeah.
Because the only resist is Perm, right?
I believe so. Yes. Which you don't want to. Doesn't want to come in too much. Also, I think Umbreon's a fine Pokemon, but I don't think it's that good for this team.
What does it do?
Like, well, it's wish support and it's a wall, I guess, so it can just plug HP into stuff. But,
team.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, like, it's not.
It's a decision that was made. I just question.
Yeah, well, it's also a dark type, so it helps.
Also, they have 2-3 points they could spend to make the Beartick a Pokemon that isn't Beartick.
Well, yeah.
You know what? With the Choice Scarf in the rain, Beartick can actually outspeed some base 100s or something.
I mean, yeah, I think. Well, it's got Swift Swim, so.
Yeah, that's why I said with a Scarf in the rain.
I mean, isn't it space speed like 55? It probably outspeeds base 100s.
It doesn't outspeed base 100s without a Scarf. Oh, sorry, with a Scarf outside of the rain.
Yep, gotcha, yeah.
So Swiss Swim, Scarf Beartick. Fine, do something.
Doesn't it have like, it actually has a high attack stat, doesn't it? It's like...
Yeah, kind of. It's like 130.
Yeah.
Which is like, Confuse Ops, or you can have Beartick. Oh yeah, removal. Removal is,
bit of an issue.
Removal is Coco Pelipper. Pelipper often can run removal, but this means that on comps which are not going to be rain, then Coco is running defog, or you don't remove anything.
Yeah, or you're running like Hydration Pelipper, or just rain for the sake of it, which I guess you'd
and the rocks are the rock is a Pert, Azelf, and Marowak as well.
Yeah,
which means that one of them is going to have to run rocks.
Yeah, I think if Durant was like a pure was just a steel with rocks, like a steel that wasn't a steel that wasn't weak to that wasn't neutral to one of flying or rocks, that had rocks itself, this would be a much better team. But that's its problem.
Absolutely.
You talk about how the speed tees on paper look a little wonky, and then in practice they're even a little more wonky because like it relies on max speed Swampert, but you never run max speed Swampert.
Well, not that as much as you're never going to try and rely on Swampert's speed outside of the rain to filling in your speed tiers.
Yeah, and same with Goodra. I don't think. I guess you can run offensive Goodra, but like.
And I think I mentioned that like Scarfers that can outspeed their rain abusers are pretty spooky.
Yeah, and there's this type called Ice.
Well, they have the amazing ice resist of Beartick.
Yeah,
and Durant. Durant is so
and
good.
I guess. But it's
I'm pretty sure the calculator. No, that's right. Originally, you thought that it was regular Marowak, and you were really concerned.
Yeah. I just put up in the team builder. I just typed in Marowak, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And I was like.
I think a lot of Marowak.
Oh really? A 9 pointer is better than a 1 pointer.
I'm pretty sure it's 2. I don't know, I might be wrong. There's no Trick Room or like a Psychic in gen. Oh, it's Azelf. It does have Trick Room.
Yeah.
And Taunt and Explosion. Very good. Yeah, so like you can run Trick Room with the Marowak, but like I don't know, weird.
Yeah. Anything else?
Run Bear Taken Trick Room.
Oh, there we go. With Slush Rush.
Slush Rush.
It gets out another weather ability, and I don't remember what it is. I think it's Oh yeah, that's. Basic's a weird Pokemon. Anyway,
because it's ability.
Let's go to number 7. The Minneapolis Mango Swine with Aren, who is
Aren,
who is a 5-time WPF veteran coach. DD veteran. Had to get the reference.
And I had no idea who they were when they changed the name to Aaron. And also their nickname is the mod's names with Aaron in the middle. Yeah. So I had no idea who it was.
Yeah, he's actually supposed to be 15th, but he put my name in the thing, so it's at 7th. So thanks.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying is look, we accept cash bribes for moving in draft placement, and we accept bribes and exposure for moving in PRs.
And Meganium drafting, no one did. Very sad.
Spoilers.
This is a pretty good speed tier. This is team. It's pretty good. There's some good speed tiers, some good scarfers, good cleaners, good breakers, good sponges. I don't know. It just works. It's just a pretty damn solid team.
Okay. My main problem being Colossal. It has to come a lot.
Yeah, and the other problem is that Ice is a really bad matchup.
Well, the wish support for Aegis/Seismitoad is a Shelgon.
Yeah.
And their grass doesn't have Leech Seed, so they can't even get HP into it with Leech Seed. And also, they have no ground resists.
No.
So, like, the Zygardes just mow through this team.
Yeah, as I said, against a Zygarde, pray for Mojo.
Not that there's, like, an actual Edge Quick switch in either.
There's Seismitoad, I guess?
Well, Seismitoad doesn't really enjoy switching into Earthquakes very much.
No.
Or, like Mega Diancie with, like, Earth Power Power Gen. No.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, I think Aegislash does one for Shield Fall, but, like... switch out.
It's not great.
Just switch it. It doesn't come in on an Earth Power.
It's not great. Yeah. But apart from that...
Team's got good Scarfer in Keldeo Lele. They're very good Scarfers. Runcut is also a very viable Scarfer. Seismitoad can even Scarf in some matchups, but without Flip Turn, that's not as good. And Amber Bomb is an interesting thing. Like, Amber Bomb could have good pivots as well for the team.
Yeah. Like, it's just a fine team. Bit of a weakness.
The main thing being that, like, Aerodactyl, Seismitoad, and Colossal being rockers. I think this is drafted decently around Aerodactyl. That it can play a lot of pitches, I think, with this. It's a very good team. I would say this is the start of these teams are quite good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you there. Okay, we'll go to number 6 then.
Here we have the Pokemon Grand Order Commissioner, I think, or at least they advertise it a bunch. Saber of the Fuyuki Knights.
Someone who wears his waifu on his sleeve and on his name and on his profile picture, and I approve of this.
I mean, it's not the only one. We didn't talk about how Aaron was a furry.
He has a gif of a character in a bunny girl outfit.
Yeah,
I don't think that makes someone a furry. And I also do not believe that this is the forum to be discussing what does.
I mean, you're the one who wanted to kink shame Saber, you know. So yeah, this card is good. Garchomp, Jirachi, Togekiss, very good. Fairy Dragon Steel. I don't believe in Fairy Dragon Steel cores, but if this is your Fairy Dragon Steel core, this is alright. The main downside there being that your Dragon and your Ground are the same Pokemon, so the only other electric check is the Grass, and the Grass is Eldegoss, and Eldegoss sucks. Phalanx also sucks, and Ninetales does very little for this team, outside of boosting, like a Silvally Fire's multi-attack, I guess. So, just like the bottom 3 Pokemon don't really do much, and then Kangaskhan and Obstagoon are both good, and they can be complementary, but they can be difficult to both fit onto a team. with like, also there's no grounded poison type. But outside these concerns, which I think sound very concerning when I say them all together, but they're actually not that major. Like, this team has amazing speed control between like Jirachi, Sogeking, webs and stun spore from Red B, body slam, double hit from Mega Kang. They're all very solid speed control. Like, parting shot is really good damage reduction, as well as the flinch core. And Jirachi and Togekiss is a very good defensive combination as well. Like, the typing matches up really well.
And look, if they manage to like get webs down and keep them there.
Oh yeah,
and boy. Do you like getting flinched? Do you like getting just swords danced and killed by God?
Yeah, I love when my like thunderous encounter gets flinched by Iron Head.
Do you like when Obstagoon just clicks facade and kills a thing?
Clicks double edge, or like, it's quite
with webs down. So this team is quite good. Like Eldegoss, I think is supposed to spin.
All beat to rock.
Yes, that is an issue.
And poison. So like.
Well, I feel like
fighting plus poison or fighting plus rock is spooky.
I feel like Silvally poison. Yeah, Silvally poison's coming a lot.
Either that or like. I don't know. Is there a Silvally that is there something that resists by fighting and rock? I don't think so.
It's. Yeah.
It is somewhat questionable, and Silvally poison obviously has to come for the grounded poison type stuff. The rockers are good, but they're also Garchomp and Jirachi, so like, if like one of the shite mons from the lower Eldegoss also is the spinner, which is like very little synergy on teams which are going to be web based.
Like, we looked at it, and I think I don't remember the typing, but I felt like, because I looked at it, and I specifically saw Mr. Rhyme was at 2 points, and I feel like that's way better than Eldegoss. Granted, you lose your grass type, but still. Like Eldegoss, I just don't.
Eldegoss is an important electric resist, because the other electric resist is Garchomp or Silvally.
I feel like you just lose too much with Eldegoss, to be honest. Like, it just...
Yeah, it's difficult to fit onto comps for this team, unless the comps are very much based around spreading stats.
Yeah, which it can do, I believe. And also, it doesn't have, like, that
it's
ability...
It's not toxic or Thunderwave, I just think that it is...
Oh, it does have Stunstable?
Oh yeah, it does, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I just got Cotton down to slow things down, which is funny.
That is, I was thinking the same thing, actually.
I mean, no, that's what you were saying. You said the ability. I'm like, yeah, it's Cotton down. So this is a good team. I just feel like the last 3 Pokemon would...
Yeah, Ninetales is an interesting pick.
Points. But everything about that I think is solid.
Yeah, Ninetales is very interesting.
I just feel like they could have done better with like an actual poison. Ideally one that also resists grass, like a Venusaur or something.
But
if they could even have gotten just like a Victory Bell or something to like use Ninetales, it would have been interesting. But
yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But this is a team I think you can set your watch to. It's good.
Yeah, it's very solid. It's got a very solid like top like 9 mons.
Yeah.
8 mons. It's got a very solid 8 mons.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5. We have...
now here we have the person with the most, like, the chattest of hosiery. The chattest of hosiery, that's right. Epic Pants.
Why are you saying that? I'm confused.
Because hosiery means pants.
Oh. I'm out. See ya. I'm done.
Well, Zeraora is good, and Komodo is good, and Nidoqueen is good. And Zarude is weird, and Blastoise is pretty meh. Screens are okay here, likely. Shit. Kangaskhan is good, Rotom is good. Karkle is a Pokemon. It's good for 1 point. It can come to games, which is solid. It's just that, like, there are really good rocker options on this team. Komodo, Nidoqueen, Uxie, very good rockers. And Karkle being the only spiker is okay. Being the only spinner is okay. But the main problem being that there's not amazing defog otherwise. Sorry, not the only spinner. Blastoise can also run spin. Rotom defog is also okay. Rotom is pretty solid in terms of like Volt Switch support in combination with Zeraora, but there isn't really too much pivot outside of that, so it's I believe just I have Flip Turn on Blastoise, but it's also the U-turns on Uxie and Zarude. And I think Kangaskhan might get Baton Pass, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, Zeraora Rotom. You said that.
I said Zeraora at the start. So, yeah. That's fine. Soul Stealer is good Leech Seed support to pass HP around, because their Wisher is Kangaskhan, which does some juicy 105 base power wishes, but you don't always want to run Kangaskhan game to game to game.
It's surprising. It's got surprisingly high HP for Kangaskhan. I didn't think it had that much HP. It's interesting.
And that's why I am running this. I know this Pokemon.
You're tuned to it.
I'm really down with the sickness.
Okay. This is
Celesteela misses having C moves.
It kind of does, but
I'm gonna say this like every like goddamn season. Like it's gonna be like every 2 months I'll do a PR, and it's gonna be like Celesteela misses having Z moves.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's got a kind of sus fire matchup. Like it's fine, but it's not amazing.
Well, Blastoise are the fire resists and like Harkle technically, but Celesteela being the big fire weakness, Zarup being a fire weakness, Ninetales being a fire weakness, are amazing.
Yeah.
But this team does have a lot of viable win conditions, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Between like Zeraora, Uxie, Mega Blastoise, probably, Zarup, and some Rotom. Definitely very solid.
Yes, and I believe this is Epic Pants' 3rd WPF season. He was
okay.
Yeah.
Seed last season.
I think so. Or maybe the season before that. I don't quite
remember.
Maybe.
It was in the season.
Yeah.
Seed at one point, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's built a pretty darn good team this season. Okay.
For Canadian. Yep.
Wait, did you just say for a Canadian? What?
Is this Toronto Raptors?
Yeah, but like, come on, dude. Put your casual racism away. Put your casual racism away.
I think you'll find that this is competitive.
Okay.
Anyway, so number 4. Look, stop it. Go number 4. Come on. God damn it. God damn it, it's the only thing I'm good at.
Okay, number 4, we've got the Acheron Rubber Doglets with a Wolfman Slayer Owl.
Owl. You said you were going to say AI.
Okay, Wolfman Slayer AI.
Please don't. I know his name's Al. Al's cool. Just don't pretend that you're Martin Luther King if your name is Al. I think we've all learned that.
I'm confused.
We've all learned that lesson. I don't know how many people watching this are going to get that reference by the person speaking. This is a good Sand team. Excadrill, Dracozolt, Gigalith. It's pretty good. I think Primarina gets Weather Ball. Swellow is good. Indeedee and Sharpedo and Swellow are all really good cleaners for this comp on top of the Sand core, which really enables them to pivot between having breakers and having cleaners and deciding which is which is really nice to have. The big concern that I had with this team is that like they don't like switching into Scald outside of comps with Gut Swallow, but even then, like Swallow or Primarina burnt in Sand is just going to get chipped down so much.
Yeah, that's an issue. But like no Wish, no Room Therapy, no Heal Bell, so there's a lot of chip issues I see.
It's like Slazzle is the immunity, and like Slazzle takes like 60% from Scald from fucking Toxapex.
That's I mean, I will say though, Salazzle is your most hated Pokemon. So...
It is the worst Pokemon to play against in the history of Pokemon.
Yeah, so that's something.
That's what.
So
why is my Heatran toxic? Why is my Nidoking toxic? God damn it.
But I think that's the big thing that separates Wolfman Slayer Owl from the top 3 teams. The lack of a cleric to remove status and to sort of help provide recovery, because this team does run the risk of chipping itself down a little before it can chip down other teams.
Also, that Drill and Dracozolt both rely on stabs, which have prominent immunities, which can be a bit of a concern. I think there was one type. No, it was just Scald. Yeah.
Like Excadrill is very good. I think Excadrill is like really good. It's good outside of Sand, to be honest.
I think Excadrill and Gigalith as rockers are a good combination. They have 3 spinners on this team as well. I don't know why. There's no spikes. Lack of spikes is also something which I think holds this team back.
Yeah.
Because Drake's really appreciates having spikes up to wear down grounds. But otherwise, yeah, it's a good team. It's definitely a solid team. We could definitely expect Al to put forward a solid performance this season.
Yep. Okay, number 3. Heat Sets Inc. with
Incorporated.
So this is this is the Tapu Fini Latios score, and this is remarkable because I think every single division besides B.
Yeah, everyone besides. What you're saying is all of the Civ divs who wanted to copy DDiv, even though I think DDiv was the one that actually did it last.
Yeah.
That is to say, S, A, and C all have Tapu Fini Latios, and it was first round Fini, second round Latios in all of them.
Yeah, which is interesting, but it's interesting because it's very good.
This is a team which was salvaged very much, I think, in transactions. It wound up becoming like a really, really solid team. So Fini, Latios, Heatom, Greninja, Mega Pinsir, Roserade, Ferrothorn, Rhino. It's just like really, really solid. And then, let's start with Ferrothorn. And then like Rhydon, Avalon, Munchlax, Pissimian, I just kind of like, well, I have points that I'm allowed to spend, so I'm just going to use them to like find Pokemon that can come to some games, even if they're not like going to be coming consistently.
Yeah, and they sort of patch up weaknesses, I'd say, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you consider, like, if you pretend like Rhydon, Avalon, and Munchlax, all three of them are coming to the same game that Ferrothorn and Greninja are also in, then the fighting matchup looks bad.
Yeah, but they're not.
If you look at it realistically, where like one of those 4 Pokemon are going to be coming, the fighting matchup is quite good actually.
It's fine, yeah.
I mean, resist. Fini, Latios, Pinsir, and Roserade all resist.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Heatom is a very good flying resist. It's also appreciated that Ferrothorn is not weak to flying, even though Roserade and Pinsir are, which is quite solid. Good Scarf options in Latios, Ninja, and Pissimian. And Fini's just broken.
Fini,
I don't know, like Fini is worse than Coco, but like I don't know, sometimes it feels better than Coco.
It's a very, very, now that it has like, you know, Draining Kiss and stuff like that, it's so good. It's so good.
I mean, even last gen, it was very firmly the second best Tapu, and it's just become so good. And it was the only one that wasn't hurt by the terrain nerf.
Yeah.
But I'm very sad that it doesn't get Boom.
The Mystics, does it get Misty Explosion? No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. None of the Tapus get Alavarma moves.
Yeah, get the terrain stuff.
Get any Alavarma moves.
Oh no, it doesn't. I thought it got Flip Turn.
No, it does not.
Oh,
that was an incorrect leak along with Misty Explosion.
Yeah.
If Fini got Flip Turn.
Yeah, looking at this team, I think the issue is that Rock.
I mean,
is a bit of an issue, I think.
Rock certainly can be an issue.
Yeah, Rock.
Ferrothorn and Rhydon, the Rock resists. They're both okay, but they're also both fighting weak, which is not necessarily amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So this team is obviously, it's not without flaw, but I think this team can do really well, like game to game to game.
Yeah, definitely. Also, tell us about Jadon, because I think you're a little more familiar with him than I am, because he is new to WPF this season. Well, new to main div WPF this season.
Was he last season? I'm trying to remember where I know Jadon from. I do know Jadon. I was like, but where do I know Jadon?
How do I know you?
This is a very good question.
Was he one of your competitors in the, you know, competitive racism leagues?
please do not besmirch my poor son, Jadon. Seriously, I'm trying to remember where I know him from. Where do I know him from?
I don't. Okay, this is going on too long.
He's mutual friends with. I don't know. I don't remember where I know him from.
He's a good coach. He was in B-Div last season as a replacement. Didn't do too hot, so he's standing D-Div, and I think he's going to do quite well here.
It was very much appreciated when he came in to replace.
Yes. Okay, number 2. The Counting Alakazams with Halix. Yeah, so this is a stupidly good team. It's quite strong. I think this team really appreciates the fact that it has both Vaporeon and Aromatis's Wish Passes, because it's got a lot of Pokemon that love getting HP back, specifically Mega Heracross, but also, you know, like Crocodile likes it, Rotom sometimes likes it, Heatran loves it. There's just it's very good. I think it supports this team incredibly well. Like there's it's very hard to find a terrible like matchup. Like I think this is just a very solid, well put together team that sort of does.
The only problem I have with this team is that Landorus is bad.
Yeah, look, take your personal biases somewhere else, okay?
But this team certainly helps patch out that Landorus weakness. Like, Landorus Heatran is a very solid combination. Yeah. It's then followed by 3 very good water resists, 2 of which are really good at threatening waters, and the other one's an immunity. Which support is very clutch on this team. I spoke to Alex around the time, and we wound up coming to the conclusion of drafting Crocodile and Alakazam, both of which I think are very important parts of this team. Crocodile is a very solid rocker, which relieves pressure away from Landorus and Heatran, as well as relieving pressure for them to check electric types. And the knockoff is also very much appreciated from both these mons. And Alakazam is just a fast, strong special attacker, which also has access to teleport, which is quite nice, and it's not as reliant as Superior on setup, which is solid.
Yeah, and Mega Heracross just being a really strong physical breaker is very important for this team.
Garbodor is a genuinely good Pokemon.
Yeah.
Genuinely good.
No, I didn't think there's a bad Pokemon on this team. The other reason it's not number 1 is because the first team is so stupid. But
so is that
get to that later. No, we'll get to that later.
How I see counting Alakazam's because he is the Pope of the Cathedral of Counting.
Yes.
He does to the Counting Cathedral what I do to AMA questions. Which is to say, post there a lot. He's one of the very prominent, wholesome people who are around.
Yes, he's a great person. If we're trying to think of a weakness of this team, and this is a bit of a stretch, but it's like mons with both Fairy and Ground are pretty strong. So specifically, Mega Dialga. This team is terrified of it because, but that's like. It's not many Pokemon that have
both of threatened by Mega Dialga. Who could possibly, if someone would be threatened by Mega Dialga?
That's the main, like, Heatran is relied as the major, check to Fairy types, so something that can take advantage of it. Like, a Fairy type that has moves that take advantage of it can be a bit scary, but this team can still probably compromise. Like, this team can still probably beat it pretty well. It's just very, very, very good. I have a lot of time for this team. I could set my watch to it. Okay, I think we go to number 1.
No. So last thing. Also, WPF.
I'm confused.
South is my country. Alright, last one.
Last one, the Ollie Boy, Ipswich Infernape. So, Ollie Boy, I think he went. I believe. Okay, we'll talk about how he did last season first. So last season, I believe he went 5 wins, 5 losses with 0 differential. I believe, which is perfectly balanced. This season, I think he's going to do a lot better because holy Jesus Christ!
Just look at the top 4 mons. Ignore that there's a small X figure. Look at the top 4 mons, right? Dragapult should be banned. I genuinely, the fact that it's legal is the reason I didn't even app. Mega Moa, just fucking stupid Pokemon. It's really dumb. It was banned in a lot of leagues last gen, and it's like the reasoning behind it hasn't really changed. It's just blisteringly strong. The only real way to check it is fire types. Mandibuzz, which is like one of the better checks to Dragapult that are out there. Obviously it's not a counter because it can just get to KO'd by like choice sets anyway. But yeah, that's one of the better one of the Pokemon that can force Dragapult to run a specific set, which is just not on the table against it. Nidoking, amazing breaker, and just a really solid stealth rocker for the team as well, combined with the Mega Moa. And then just like the rest of the Pokemon are all like solid Pokemon which can support. You've got the like Momentum in Cavalier, Moltres, Kamala, Slowking. You've got technically Wish support in Leafeon and Kamala. And you've got Lax as a good sponge to some of the team's weaknesses.
I think I think in the peloton of low tier grasses, Leafeon's a pretty good one for this team. But like, it's just this team's stupid. This team's stupid. I looked at it and was like, yeah, this team's number 1. This team's so good. Why is this a thing? I just play against this and cause me to cry. Like,
yeah, it's
the
like,
token weaknesses are like, I guess it's a little.
Yeah.
Like, token weaknesses, like, I guess Quake Slide's kind of okay against it, but it's Quake Slide, it's good against everything. There's only 1 flying resist, and that's Mega Mawile, and that's a bit of an issue, but like Snorlax can take special flying flyings pretty well, and it's, you know, I don't think it's like exactly weak to flying because its only weakness is Leafeon, I believe.
Yeah, there's no fight.
Yeah.
Oh, so
the fighting is Steel, yeah, and Cavalion.
No
yeah, there's good rockers, some good spin. Yeah, this is stupid. This is really good.
Very good team.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Just like, I don't envy the DD players that have to.
It's a top-heavy draft with good low cost picks.
Yeah.
So good luck to every other coach.
Yeah, this is incredible. Yeah, I think with that we're done. So do you have anything else to say before we leave?
It's important to have a special attacker and a physical attacker on teams.
Okay.
Because several of them only have one.
Okay. And, you know, we'll see you guys later, I guess.
In the next video.
In the next life.
No, I'll be blind.